What are you supposed to think of when you're kicking field goals or punting? Not really anything. So we'll touch on that in a second. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, my name is Eric. For those of you that don't know me, I was a collegiate athlete that created Kickers of Earth a couple years ago in order to help educate the kickers and punters of the world, because a lot of these camps and coaches are quite expensive. And I wanted to help the people that may not have the resources or want to just learn a different perspective on the kicking and punting game. So this will be a pretty simple video. It's not really anything crazy, nothing groundbreaking, but it will cover a very important topic, which is what are you even supposed to think about when you kick a field goal? So traditionally, people would say, okay, you need to think about your kicking foot. You need to think about your body positioning. You need to think about your plant foot. You need to think about driving through the ball. You need to think about it going through the uprights and all this stuff. And it really does cloud your head, especially when you're kicking, because you're trying to think of the things that you need to do as opposed to the things that you have already done and trusting it. So the difference there is the normal kicker, the everyday kicker, is thinking about the things that they need to do technique-wise, form-wise, or just the standard stuff that they would need to do in order to get the result of making the field goal or hitting a good punt. Likewise, the professional kicker has done it thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of times now. He already has a very solid baseline of how he needs to perform. It's all subconscious at this point, and for him, he is already at the point where he can let his mind go and he just lets it happen. So you might be asking, well, Eric, I don't really have that point yet. I'm not at the point where I can subconscious. Yes, you can. You are at the point where you can let go and just trust your swing. You know, there's a lot of kickers on this earth. Kickers of earth. There's a very small percentage of them that understand that simple tweak, that simple adjustment in your thinking. And that simple adjustment is realistically just knowing that you've put in the work, you've practiced enough times, you've already done enough things related to kicking and punting. You just need to have fun. You just need to go out and play and just play the game. You know, once you're out in the field, you've already put in the hours beforehand to learn how to do it. You just need to wipe your mind clean and just go and just have fun. Because realistically, the nerves or the pressure or the fear of not performing really only comes when you're not prepared. So if you are prepared, it's fair to say that you'll be fine as long as you just learn to let those thoughts not come into your brain, especially when you've done it so many times. Like, it really is as simple as trusting it and believing in the fact that you will make it happen. Now, I get it. You are very likely still thinking about stuff even when you're on the field, even though we've gone through this whole talk and I've given you some pointers on what realistically should happen, but it doesn't always happen like that. And I understand. So again, when you're on the field, all you're thinking about is the positive feeling of the ball going through the uprights or the ball or the punt being perfect in every sense of the way. And you see yourself from a third person point of view and a first person point of view doing it. So you might visualize yourself doing it first person and also as if you're watching yourself do it as well, just to give yourself different perspectives of what it would look like and feel like to have that end result of a perfect kick or punt. And I already touched on this a little bit earlier, but that's the really cool part, is you are able to have a positive game simply by having positive thoughts. You can have the greatest practice all week, but come game time, if you are in a position where you're constantly telling yourself negative things, it's no wonder that you're probably not performing as well as you could or should, just because you're letting your brain or your mind influence yourself with thoughts that aren't actually real. Because thoughts are just thoughts. They're not real until you act on them, and then that becomes the reality. So you actually have the ability to change the way your outcome is, completely independent of your thoughts. Again, those are not the reason why we mess up. It's more so what we believe in our heart to be true is what actually happens. But all that being said, this is all great in theory, but there's still probably going to be times where you're feeling not so positive or you're still down on yourself and you're like talking negatively. So what we're going to do, let's say you're actually in a game about to kick a football or about to punt a football. You'll get set, you come up to your positioner or your holder, you walk up, take a deep breath through your nose, and you get set, and you go back, you know, take your steps back, and then you might line your steps up or whatever. Another deep breath, right? And then you take your steps out to the side. Line your target up, take a deep breath again, and then you're ready to go. So think about that. You've got 3 different points in which you will take a deep breath, both in and out. long inhales and exhales, which is going to help you completely calm your nerves. And it's, is it perfect? I mean, it's about as perfect as it can be, because, better than letting your mind just race. You take 3 deep breaths, and then you simply, once you're back in this position and you're taking your side steps, or you're set in your punter stance and your ready stance, there really shouldn't be any thoughts at that point. It's really just like, what are you gonna do now? You're gonna go practice, hopefully figure out that thing? No, like, you're in the moment. Whatever's gonna happen is whatever's gonna happen. And that's why you need to just trust it. So you come back, you set yourself, and then you just go, and like, now your mind is completely blank. You really shouldn't be thinking about anything at this point. Why not put good thoughts and do good things? And that will then give you the best chance to succeed. Okay. So if this did find some value for you, please like, comment, share it with someone, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I'm really trying to make this a one-stop shop for all things kicking and punting. So your help would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk soon.